Hey guys, what's going on? This is Word here, and I'm going to be bringing you a game between IdrA and Everize. This is a bit of an older game. It's from the IEM qualifier, but it was one of GoSu Gamers.net replays of the week, so I thought it deserved a little bit of attention if some of you haven't seen it yet. Now, this video is for the CoconutNetwork, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my channel, as I'll be part of that network. Of course, my name is Word. You can find me at youtube.com/Wyrdcast, and I like to cast professional games. 99% of my content on my channel is professional games from players such as IdrA, Everize, many names. I cast series, so it doesn't matter where it's from. If it's a good game, I'm going to put it up on my channel. And I just love casting, and I love putting more content into the community. Occasionally, I will put some of my own ladder up there. I do stream on occasion. I generally like to put those VODs up there, or at least I'm trying to a lot more. And I'm a Diamond level Protoss with high level analysis. So hopefully there's something you can take from those games, as well as a little bit of entertainment as well. So if you like that sort of stuff, please pop over to youtube.com/Wyrdcast, but also make sure to give lots of love to the Coconut Network, as we are going to be adding more and more casters and getting a bigger and better team here as time moves on. Now, moving aside from that, we are going to get into this game. Of course, Everize is our green Terran spawning here in the upper left side of Ohana IdrA, our red Zerg here in the lower right. ZVT styles. Of course, IdrA, known to be a macro player, has excellent Mutalisk control. Now, unfortunately, Mutas are not as great on Ohana as they would be on other maps, because this is a narrow map. You don't have that much airspace, and the attack paths are fairly direct with not a whole lot of chance to sneak into your opponent's base. That being said, IdrA has been known to get great numbers of Mutalisks in ZVT, and use them with just incredible control, doing damage wherever he can. There can be 20 Marines here, and there can be a missile turret here. IdrA has no fear, balls up those mutas, smacks out as much damage as he can, runs away with hardly losing a thing. Absolutely well done. So that's something I could very much look forward to seeing. Everize, as a TVZ player, has a wide variety of strategies from what I've seen of his play. He used to like to Reaper expand, but of course that was before the Queen change came about, and this really isn't the best map for that sort of thing. I don't think I've ever seen a Reaper expand on this map, so I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Looks like right now he's going to opt for the gasless fast expand, now adding on that gas. And IdrA actually going to harass this SCV here, getting it down to 10 health before some buddies come out to back it up, and he might actually be able to chase that down and try to kill it. But likely what Everize is going to be doing is following this up with Hellions, establishing a little map control, pulling back once he's been thwarted away, meanwhile getting his second gas and going into combat shield +1 stim. These things for the strong Marines for a good mid-game push to try to deny Zerg's creep spread and really put him on the ropes. We'll see how IdrA is able to deal with something like that, should it come about. These are just my predictions, of course. What's going to unfold is what will be happening on screen before us, and nothing more. And Everize is going to scout here, is going to see what his opponent is up to, sees the spawning pool, of course knows the hatchery is popped at this point. Couple links from IdrA, going to come and try to deny this SCV the gift of life. We'll see whether or not they'll be able to get it in just a moment. IdrA now, of course, does know about his opponent's expansion, but he does not... Oh, no, he does know about the gas. Of course, the drone was able to get in here and take a look at that, and now Everize is going to be forced to pull this SCV back, and the Lings might be able to get it, but I guess it's not really that important. Now IdrA, with both queens vomiting, getting ready to go. He does have this gas, but he's just gotten enough and a little extra for that speed, and that's generally what Zergs like to do, so you can focus on minerals. Get that speed up so you can deal with Hellions when they do come, and then the rest should be history once you can get up to lair and get your 4 gas up. Now we do have Everize going for these Hellions. He's adding that second gas as well, so he'll probably get out maybe 4. 4 is the general number rather, that Terran players like to go for to try to keep Zerg in check. Now we don't have IdrA creep spreading here at all. I believe he did just have... There we go. Queen pops out right now, so this is going to be his creep spreading queen, and he's going to start working on that. Without the creep spread, it's very hard to deny Hellions, but of course one of the reasons Hellions are there are to deny that creep spread, so it's kind of something that can work for and against both players once that starts to get going. But IdrA is definitely going to want that creep spread here. He's going to want to get that as far across this map as possible, and on Ohana, it's very easy to get that creep spread where you want it to go, because it's generally just a straight shot, and of course it only takes 1 creep tumor to spread it over to your third once you get these rocks broken down. Now we do have actually a starport and tech lab, so he's actually going to be open with some Banshees. Everize going with multiple ways to harass, so instead of spending that gas on marine upgrades, he's going to be trying to do as much economic damage as possible. So he's going to only make the 4 Hellions, he's going to spend the gas on Banshees and likely Cloak, all things considered, since there's really nothing else he can spend his gas on there, but we're getting that Cloak started now. These two Hellions are going to come up here, check for a greedy third by IdrA. It's not going to be the case. Of course, smart thing on Zerg's point of view, especially with these Banshees coming out. There's no way he'd be able to hold that. Now he's going to pull back here. Bailing Nest coming out, Roach Warren done as well. So IdrA should be well versed to deal with these Hellions, but these, of course, Banshees are going to be a huge problem. We see the Cloak now about a quarter of the way done, and this Banshee getting started as well. Now 4 Hellions on this tower. IdrA coming out with a few Lings and Roaches, so he might be able to do some good counter damage here. We don't have a wall for Everize. We have a single bunker in great positioning. He's going to be going for an early third off of this Banshee, which is a little bit worrisome, unless the Banshee does awful, terrible, terrible damage to Corrode, Dust, and Browder there. A mid-game push by IdrA could be huge, but it looks like, actually, wow, he's just going to devote a lot of resources to this attack, going in a little bit prematurely, not waiting for these Banelings to finish. This could end the attack really before it begins. The Hellions are actually going to be coming up behind here. They might be able to target down all of these Banelings as soon as they spawn, but no, loses the opportunity just a little bit too quickly. Banshee going to try to take out as many as he can, but it looks like that Barracks is going to go down, but he spends almost all, in fact, all of the Banelings getting taken out there for that Barracks. There's a ton of Hellions here to deal with these Lings, and of course the Banshee can clean up the Roaches, and I think this attack from IdrA is going to be very much spoiled at this point. We can see he's taking a third base behind it. He's droning up behind it. He knows it's failed, trying to take out as many SCVs as he can before he is chased away, or rather, completely killed. But it looks like, of course, he manages to get a cancel on this third base. Might even possibly be able to sneak some Lings in, but no, there are too many Hellions. And now IdrA is going to be forced to pull back, and is he going to be able to deal with these Banshee numbers? He's trying to work on getting a creep spread over to his third base. Currently only 3 Queens out, getting a 4th in production, but this attack could be here too quickly to actually have an effective counter. There's going to be 1, 2 Banshees on the map, a couple Hellions coming in as well to join the party, going to pick off one of those creep tumors there. Actually, 2 of the creep tumors going down. And this is going to be very frustrating for IdrA, but frankly, the attack just did not have enough behind it. Wasn't well executed enough. Everize is going to come in, pick off these Queens immediately. Of course, the Hellions dealing extra damage. They're going to have Cloak. IdrA does not have the necessary detection in the proper place. He's got the Spore Crawler, of course, but with no lair, he's not going to have Overseers. One of the Banshees looks like has managed to get taken down, and actually Everize is going to lose both those Banshees now. And there's 1 Banshee left, but my god, the drones are getting roasted by these Hellions. Everize doing so much damage. The third base still standing for IdrA. Looks like right now both players have killed an even amount of workers. 34 SCVs to 28 drones, which of course does put Terran at an advantage. But IdrA going to catch up very quickly. 11 drones in production, going to finish up right there. Army supply right now, 15 to 14, so these players have kind of evened out. However, IdrA is on 3 bases working on breaking down these rocks. Of course, this was canceled before, so Everize is a little bit behind in the production of that command center, going to be finishing just now, and his rocks aren't broken down yet either, so his base is not going to be too easily defended. He is actually going completely insane on the Hellions here. This is a very interesting style that I haven't seen from him. He's going to be going mech. He's adding on a couple more factories. He's producing those Banshees as well, and this is a very strong, very in-your-face style. He's actually got the double armories there, getting those upgrades, the +1/+1, and this is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be great on Ohana number 1. Since IdrA is not going for Mutalisk at this particular moment, he's only got the 3 gas, or no, 2 gas now, just adding that third, and he's spent so much money on Roaches, any Mutalisk tech is going to be very delayed. So it's going to be a very heavily Roach-Ling-based army, which means that Hellions, and especially tanks, are going to do tons of damage. We have a couple of tech labs being added on now. The third base for IdrA being saturated, the Hellions going to try to do what damage they can. He really doesn't have much of a ground force, just 4 Roaches. Nothing to deal with these Banshees, really. He's got a Queen at each base, +1 extra. A Banshee will be the Queen one-on-one, but with Spore Crawlers it should be able to help, and he's going to Cloak. He's going to take out as many Roaches as he can as the Roaches chase these Hellions away. And now Everize is going to get his third started. Of course, getting those 2 gases up there as soon as he can to make sure he has enough gas for his mech-style play. It looks like the Banshee is going to just get so much damage done on those Roaches as they try to scare away the Hellions, but they're not quite able to. And now Everize is going to be forced to retreat. But IdrA, I'm really worried for him when this mech push comes. With Thors in production, and Thors aren't necessarily bad against Roaches. Generally, if your opponent is making Roaches, you get Thors rather. You get Roaches to counter it. But I mean, Thors have one of the highest DPS in the game. If IdrA, considering the bashing he's taking and how much money he's spending on drones, his Roach count is going to be low, so the Thors are going to be great. Roaches are great against Thors when you're on creep, when you have speed done, when you have a lot of Roaches, so you can get up there and focus down the Thor before it's able to deal that damage. But beneath a a tanking wall of Hellions. Thors are going to be able to deal so much damage from the background, and of course, without a lot of roaches on the field, they're going to be able to take a lot of punishment as well, especially with 1-1 complete. Looks like IdrA has one Carapace taken down, but we have Hellions in the main now going after these drones, and he's just getting so many kills. The slow roaches for IdrA not able to get into position to defend this adequately. That is going to get taken down. Now we have actually, oh my goodness, a total of 45 workers killed for Everize, putting IdrA down to 47 drones against 56 SCVs, and IdRA's in this terrible, terrible position where it's, oh my god, do I produce roaches to defend the attack that is surely incoming? If we take a look, he knows that his opponent's going for mech, which is why he's producing so many roaches. Or do I produce drones to try to catch up in the economic game? But if I produce those drones, I'm not going to have a lot of units, and it's going to be so hard to deal with this army. Of course, the Banshees flying on top of this mech army is going to add so much uncountered DPS. IdRA's just going to go for an attack before it gets to that stage. He has a lot of roaches here, a total of 26 roaches with that +1/+1 done. He's not going to wait for +2 Carapace, though. And this army, there's really not a lot here for Everize, but it does have a lot of DPS. There's not enough Hellions here to keep the roaches away, and this is exactly when roaches can be good. If you can get on top of these units, focus them down, especially the siege tanks, which are no good in close quarters. Going to manage to get rid of 1 Thor, 2 Thors, a couple of tanks. Of course, he can't do anything about these Banshees. He's losing a lot of roaches. Is it worth it? Units lost type showing IdrA at a disadvantage. Going to try to pick off as many SCVs as he can, and this was a good choice from IdrA, trying to get in there before his opponent gets that that unbreakable mech wall. He moves in there while the mech ball is small and is able to do some damage. Of course, the roaches can't do anything about these Banshees, so they are going to be taken out. Managed to kill a few SCVs. Actually ahead in Harvesters now. Still 45-19 in that workers killed count, but IdrA is not actually out of this, although maybe he should stop this aggression a little bit. A lot more roaches coming in, and he might be overextending here. There's not a whole lot here for Everize, so he can try to focus down as many SCVs as he wants, which of course that's what he's going to be going for. The mules going to be a heavy target there as well. Of course, there are most of Everize's income, but of course he wants to get rid of those staples, which are the SCVs as well. Going to stop mining at this third base for just as long as he can. And he's going to try to get rid of some of these turrets as well. Just continuing to produce roach after roach, but there's a lot of Banshees here for Everize to try to do as much damage as he can. A roach in the mineral line here is actually going to cause a lot of splash damage on those SCVs, and IdrA is going to need to retreat these roaches just as far away as he can because the Banshees are having an absolute field day. Now we have the Spire up for IdrA, and we are going to have 11 mutas on the way, +1 Flyer Carapace on the way as well. Having taken out those Thors, IdrA knows there is not a lot to take out his own Mutalisk, since there is a mainly tank Hellion composition here, and IdrA playing very smart, I think might be able to do some serious damage here. We have the Hellions coming in to do some damage of their own, but IdrA prepared for this. He's got the Spine Crawler up, and he's got roaches in defense. They're going to get 1 drone, 2 drones. It's like a 3rd and 4th drone going to be going down, but only 1 more shot on that Hellion. It is going to get taken out. The Banshees do manage to clean up all the roaches here, but now we do have the Mutas coming in to pick off these Banshees in an Overseer position so they can't even cloak and run away. Beautiful play by IdrA. Oh my god, there is no anti-air for Everize. Literally not a single thing. He has to rely on static defense in the form of turrets. Meanwhile, there is going to be just a ton of mutas over at his third base. Looks like he's not going to be able to take this turret out, but he's going to be able to take a lot of SCVs. Now, with this turret getting up, he will be able to defend a little bit better. But man, just the 1 turret. He actually doesn't have anything in position to repair, but IdrA is going to pull back, wait for a few more units. We have some Lings and Roaches streaming across the map. This is very aggressive play from IdrA because he needs to make up for the economic deficit that he was forced into. Lings in the mineral line there. These tanks are going to decimate any ground forces, and it looks like IdrA in position to pick off those Hellions as they go to defend the base. Roach is going to take out any fleeing units, and oh, this is just great play from IdrA, but Everize is going to be coming around the left side with some Banshees. There's not a whole lot here, but he might be able to take out this base. We don't have any air defense there at that base, but he's forced Everize to lift his third. Everize coming in with a few Banshees now to take some pot shots at this hatchery. This is a lot of DPS. He might actually be able to take it out since there's nothing there to defend, but IdrA, likewise, might be able to take out this orbital command. He needs to get repaired. No, not able to get it in time. The orbital command is going to go down. Bunch of roaches and Lings here to defend against the Banshees, but that's not quite going to do it. Everize really wants this hatchery. Will he be able to get it before the mutas take down these Banshees? No, 77 HP remaining. So close, but yet so far, as Everize is now trapped on his side of the map. He's got a beefy mech army up now, though, with a bunch of Thors, and he is just going to be going for the attack, but IdrA is maxed out right now. We have actually level 3 weapons on the way. This is a very powerful army for Everize. If IdrA is not careful, it can take out his army, especially these mutas can go in the blink of an eye if the Thors manage to get on top of that. IdrA, of course, very aware that this third base is coming back into existence. The mute is going to be coming in now. There are just so many of them. He does not even worry about those singular turrets right now. Going to try to do as much damage as he can, but Everize's army is moving in, and he just has a dynamite composition. But oh my god, the roaches are going to get on top of everything before it can siege up. There's not a lot of roaches here, but it's enough to deal damage that Everize can't afford to take, and wow. IdrA, having taken out most of the main base and cleaning this up with the roaches, is going to take that game. Not a GG from Everize, but a GJ, because, in fact, that was a very good playing there from IdrA. And an interesting composition for Everize didn't quite work out in his favor. He did a lot of economic damage, but unfortunately got counterattacked too strongly. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, make sure to support the Coconut Network as it continues to grow, and we add more and more casters to the pool. And, of course, you can check me out at youtube.com/Wyrdcast. So thanks for watching, and word up.